like I was in the video game because I kept going behind another tree and I was just like, what? And then I would put my back behind a tree and I would peep over and I'm like, what? So it felt like a video game to me. It was pretty cool.
Listen to what people say they don't know about you and me.
What is going on, y'all? It's your girl CandyC, and you are in the place to be. How can I possibly go through this without letting you guys in on what is going on? So I signed up to do this combat life-saving course. Why? Because it's points towards promotion. Another reason is because I enjoy doing different things. I don't like my day-to-day to be the same every single day. So it's like, okay, let me do this class, see what it's about. Look, I'm gonna have to show y'all pictures of my marks and bruises if appropriate. But it has been crazy. So it's a 4-day class and it started on Tuesday and on Friday. Today is Thursday, so I'm halfway finished. So I want to tell you about what happened on the first day, on Tuesday, after I go through this gate. And I'm trying to eat breakfast. Hello. Thank you too. So the first day, Tuesday, we got to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. And, oh, I'm supposed to be in the other lane. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put that hot sauce in it. Is that how it goes? Tuesday, get there at 8 o'clock. Everybody signs in. They tell you what classroom to go into. You know, you got to wear your mask, of course. Getting the introductions, and we're doing death by PowerPoint. So that's day one. Just a PowerPoint instructional class. We got like a break every hour, probably like a 10-minute break every hour. We got a lunch break, an hour and a half lunch break, and we left at the end of the day at like 3 o'clock. Day two. Day freaking two. Day two was crazy, and I wish that I was able to have my phone on me, but they were like, you might not want your phone in your pocket, you might want to keep your phone in your car, or keep it, you know, at your desk area. But we went into the classroom, and they gave us all medical bags, which had everything in there that we needed, because combat life-saving course is pretty much you learning how to take care of a casualty under fire, or in case you're in the battlefield or whatever, you're at war and you know, somebody goes down, somebody gets their leg blown off, somebody, you know, is unconscious, whatever the case may be. Your job is to be able to save them and get them medical attention. So they gave us a CLS bag, and it had everything in there, like gauze, ace bandages, tourniquets, everything. So day two, you know, I forgot, part of day one, we were applying tourniquets to each other. So I got bruises on my legs and my arms because we did go outside and we applied tourniquets to each other and did a little bit of drill exercises. Day two, we did more drill exercises, and we each had lanes. So it was like 2 people to a lane. So they were like, they gave us 30 seconds to respond to a casualty. We had a dummy weapon, and it was like, we run to the casualty, and we have a certain amount of time to get the casualty to cover so that we can apply medical attention. So the first time we did the exercise, we didn't do it in time. So he was like, okay, everybody do 10 burpees. So we did 10 burpees. We had our medical bag attached to our waist and everything. And look, that was the last time that we did not meet a time hack, because we were like 10 burpees with all our gear on and stuff. Nah, and it started to rain a little bit, but it was still hot outside. So we did our lanes back and forth. We kept practicing. We kept going through the drills, going through the motions. And then What else did we do? So then once we put our casualty, because they had like fake dummies out there, and the dummies weigh like 20 pounds, which is, it doesn't seem heavy, but it's heavy when it's like dead weight. You gotta drag the thing. So we had to put the casualty on the litter, and then we had to drag the litter around a circle and back to our starting point. Y'all, I was so tired. I was exhausted. I was sweating. And then after that, they were like, you know, all right, so go ahead and put all your stuff in the car because we're about to do another exercise. And once we're done this exercise, you're going to go straight home. You're not allowed in the classroom. You're not allowed in the building. You will be wet. Make sure you have your towel. So we're like, okay. So they put us in pairs, and we had to stand in line. And the first two people went. They came back 15 minutes later, soaked. And we were like, what just happened? They weren't allowed to tell us what happened. So when it was my turn, this is how it went. Me and my partner standing next to each other. And it was like, ready, go! So we just start running. We don't know where we're running to. So we just start running. We run around the building. And then there's a guy standing there, and he's like, hurry up, get in the mud. So we lay down in the mud, and he's like, flutter kicks. We were laying on our back. He was like, flutter kicks. As soon as we started doing flutter kicks, he had a water hose, and he was spraying us with water like this. So I'm on my back doing flutter kicks with water spraying in my face, and I'm like this. Like, I couldn't see. So then he was like, get on your stomach, push-ups, go. So we get on our stomach, doing push-ups. He was like, chest to the ground, chest to the ground. So I guess the whole point is, they're working us up to get tired, because when you're in combat and you're fighting, you're tired. So by the time you reach the point where you have to care for another soldier that may have injuries, you're tired. So we did like 3 sets of the flutter kicks, push-ups, and running in place while he's spraying the water hose on us. So then he was like, go, 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 go. So then we start running. There was another guy at these tubes. So we had to go through like 5 tubes. And I'm sitting there trying to wipe my eyes because I couldn't see. I had sweat and water dripping down my eyes. So we go through the tubes, and all you hear is go, 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 go. So we go through the tubes. And then on the other side of the tubes, there was another guy that said, high crawl, high crawl. And I don't know if y'all seen one of my Army videos before about how to high and low crawl, right? So we had the high crawl, and when I looked down to get on the ground, it was a big puddle of water, a long puddle of water. So he was like, elbow and knees, high crawl, elbow and knees. So I get down, and the ground was a little lower than I thought, so the water was like up to here to me. It was like this big muddy pond. So I'm pretty much like doggy paddling and like trying to kick my way through the pond. Like, I'm swimming, y'all. I'm swimming in uniform, boots, and yeah, I think that's all we had on was our uniform and our boots. So then I look back, my partner is like way behind me. He's like, you can't leave your partner, you can't leave your partner. So I look back, and I'm like, I can't leave my partner. Well, I don't want to stay in this water either. So I just kept swimming. So I waited for her when I got out the little pond or whatever. So once I hit the end of the pond, it was like smoke coming through. So now I can't see again because the smoke is like clouding my vision. They're like, go, 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 go. So I'm like, okay. So then we start running to another cloud of smoke. So once we got through the second cloud of smoke, they were like, treat your casualty, treat your casualty. So they told us to have a tourniquet in one pocket and gauze in another pocket. So we get there, and it's there's 2 casualties underneath a barrel or something. So we had to lift the barrel over the casualty, off the casualty, and then we had to treat the casualty. And treating the casualty, there was like all this fake blood squirting. He literally had a fake, he had a squirt gun with fake blood, and he's just squirting. And he's like, your casualty's bleeding, your casualty's bleeding, control the bleeding. So I started stuffing the wound with gauze, and he was like, he has an amputation. Which one is first? You going to pack the wound, or are you going to fix his amputation? So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna do the amputation first. So, you know, you have to treat the casualty like a real person. So I had to apply the pressure with my knee, put the tourniquet on, and then stuff the gauze in the other wound. And he's still like bleeding. And so I had like red blood all over my fingers. Picture. So after that, they were like, all right, now you gotta go the same way you came. What? I was like, we can't just cut through the fence area. So he was like, go, 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 go. Don't leave your partner. So we had to go the same way we came, which was the smoke, the pond, the barrels. And then we had to go back to the area where we did all the push-ups and stuff. And they wanted to hose us down and rinse us off. So here again, got the water hose and they hosing us down, rinsing us off. So it was a very wet and muddy and bloody type of situation. But we got to get home a little early and I was pooped, y'all. I was exhausted. Like, I couldn't even think straight all day. That's how crazy it was. So it was a lot of physical activity. The first day was mild activity. The second day was the most activity. And here we are on the third day. Let's see what the third day is about. Oh. Just finished paintballing. That was pretty dope. I'm all dirty, sweaty. I stink.
Oh my God.
Y'all, this is the last day of CLS. Yesterday was a very eventful day. When I got home, I was too tired to vlog and tell y'all what happened. So I'm about to tell you what happened right now. All right, so yesterday I had to be up and I had to get there by 7:15. They said if you do not make it by 7:15, you will automatically get kicked out the class. So I was rushing trying to get out of here. I actually left the house pretty early because it's like 10 minutes away. I left the house pretty early. Right before I got to the gate, I realized I didn't have my ID, so I had to turn around. So now I'm panicking like, oh my goodness, I hope I make this time hack. But you know, of course, your girl made it. So we get there, and the first thing they had us do was get our medical bag together, and they had a scenario up on the board that we're supposed to copy down for our assignment. So we copied down the scenario, and they're like, hurry up because we got to go outside and we got to, you know, start this paintball thing. So now I'm getting nervous because I've never been paintballing before. So this is like completely new to me. So they bought in the paintball machine, gave us like a quick brief on how you're supposed to operate it. And they were like, all right, let's go outside for demonstration. And then they were like, now just so y'all know, if we got to get hit, y'all got to get hit. Like, what you mean? So we go outside and they give us the paintball gun, and they give us a face mask. They tell us all the safety precautions. They told us to pair up in groups, and then they said, all right, now y'all about to shoot each other. So they paired us up in groups, and they were like, all right, one of y'all go stand by the fence and the other one stand back here. So we had a row of people in the back and a row of people at the fence. So the people at the fence were the ones that we had to shoot, just to make sure that we knew how to operate the gun and stuff like that. So it was my partner's turn first, and I kept apologizing to her. I was like, I'm sorry. She couldn't hit me. It was probably like 30, she was like 30 feet away. So she's sitting there, and I'm like aiming, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And I could see that she's like tensed up. She's like ready. So I shot her, and it hit her in her arm, and she was like, ah! I wish I could have did it in slow motion or replayed me shooting her. I wish somebody had videotaped it because it was so funny. So now I started to get nervous because everybody's like, So I'm like, does it hurt? So now it's my turn. So I'm standing against the fence, and of course I have my face guard on, and I'm just standing there shaking like I'm just waiting for her to shoot me, like hurry up and shoot me, hurry up and shoot me. So I'm just standing there, and then she kept shooting, but it wasn't hitting me. So she shot the first time and it went above my head, and I was like lower because I didn't want to get hit in the face. I was like lower. She shot me again and it like hit the fence to the side of me. She shot at me again and she still missed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like the anticipation is real right now. So one of the instructors came over there to help her, and I was like, oh, it's going down now because she got the instructor helping her. So she shot me and it hit me in my thigh. And it was a little sting. It wasn't as bad as I thought. Like, I thought it was going to be very painful by the way she reacted when I shot her. So after that, they took us in the woods. We walked about a half a mile to where we were going. And then he was like, you know, get in squads or break up into, you know, 2 groups and come up with a plan on how you're going to execute this mission. And the mission was to get to the Humvee and pretty much guard it. And then once we got there, that was going to be like our resting point. We want to drink water. We want to re-up on ammo. So we did that. So we were walking and I started seeing people in the back of the woods, but they weren't shooting yet. So I was like, oh man, it's about to go down. And then the guy that took us out there, he was like, y'all need to hurry up and get to where y'all need to go. I'm about to start shooting. Next thing I know, I start hearing. So I was like, oh, they're shooting. It was hitting the trees. It was hitting me. It hit the back of my boot. It hit me in my, I had the body armor on. It was hitting me in the chest. So I was getting pretty banged up. We finally get to the Humvee. Y'all, I haven't sweated that much in a long time. We get to the Humvee and I had a bottle of water in my medical bag. So I crushed that whole bottle of water. And I had like sweat dripping down my face. They gave us like a 10-minute break until we had to go back out there again. And now our mission is to get to the casualties. So all of a sudden we start seeing all this fog and smoke come up. So I'm like, oh my goodness, that's really going to mess up our vision. So we get out there and bang, 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 bang. And it was pretty fun. I felt like I was in the video game because I kept going behind another tree and I was just like, what? And then I would put my back behind a tree and I would peep over and I'm like, what? So it felt like a video game to me. It was pretty cool. So then, you know, we still have on all this gear. We have on our body armor. We have on our medical bag. And we get to the casualties. They told us to put our paintballs and our mask down at the field, and then we had to run to the casualties and treat the casualties as a group. So we run to the casualty. Me and my partner, like, I could feel sweat dripping down my back. I could feel like wet in between my legs. Like I was sweating hard as I don't know what. So I get to the casualty, and we're trying to assess the casualty and do what we gotta do. And you can tell we tired. So we're done assessing the casualty. Now we got to put the casualty on the litter and drag them to the end point, like pretty much where the helicopter would land in a real case scenario. So we drag them over there and we're like, I hope this is the end. So once we got there, the medics were like, okay, what's going on? So then we had to like tell them, okay, we have a male patient, right arm amputated, we got a tourniquet on there, left leg amputated, he has a tourniquet, then he has lacerations on his arm that's wrapped in bandages, he has the NPA in his nose, chest, the chest seal on his left chest, and so we had to do all that. And then after that, we went into the classroom and took the written test, and of course I passed, you know, 87.5. I'm not gonna brag about it, but you know, I passed. And that was pretty much the end of, you know, that session.
I was like, who the heck is she talking to? I heard you.
Here we are today, Friday morning, and it's the last class. So I'm gonna come back and let y'all know how that is later.
Hey guys.
I always have to make an appearance.
I
am done. But look at me. All of that is fake blood, but I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what happened when I get in the car. Okay, so I'm finally done. I feel like my weekend can start now. So I had to be at the class at 7:45 this morning, and they had us, you know,
same as usual, pack your medical bag. They give us a brief on what's going to happen, and they asked for volunteers to go first. So I talked to we had to work in groups or whatever. So I talked to my partner. I was like, hey, you trying to go first? Get it over with? She's like, yeah, let's do it. So we raised our hand. We went first. So this is how it worked. They give you a dummy weapon, and then they say once you hear boom, 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 then you run to your casualty and you start treating your casualty. So we heard boom, boom, boom. We ran to our casualty. We put on the tourniquet. Then we had to move them to a certain area outside. So then we go inside for the other simulation. So they had the bodies laying down. They had the fog going. There was like the fake blood squirting everywhere. And we had to pretty much do everything that we worked on throughout the whole week. We had to implement that and do that. So we did that. And then we had to go back outside and put the casualty on the litter and then take him to another place, and that was pretty much the end of the test. So look, failure is not an option for me, so of course we passed. And it's all about communication because of the fact that, you know, you're working in teams, so you have to communicate with your partner to make sure that everybody's good, because if your partner mess up, the whole group mess up. It's not an individual thing. So that was pretty cool. So after that, we just filled out, you know, a survey on how we thought the class was, and then they let us go. They gave us our little certificate. Oh man, I went to the office to get my computer, and I left my certificate. I was gonna show y'all my certificate, but no, I really enjoyed the class because it was a lot of physical activity, and because I haven't really been doing that much PT this whole week, it was cool because I felt like I was doing PT. Like, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of sweating. It was a lot of running around. And then, mind you, I haven't had coffee this whole week, so I have been having this pounding headache. But anywho, I hope y'all enjoyed my story of CLS. I'm sorry I don't have any like pictures because they didn't allow us to have our phones during the simulations. But I appreciate you listening. Thank you for rocking with your girl. And I'm going to see you next time. Bye.